Good night. How are you? How is everything going? I will please ask Monica to turn on the camera. Sarela asked me if it's possible that for tonight he cannot turn it on. Hi.
Hi, Gali.
How are you? Ah, no, sorry. Sarela. No, was Anaí that told me no. Sorry. I just get confused. Okay, we will start right now because we have a lot of topics and I cannot wait. So let's get started. After this session, I will stay 15 minutes more with Sarela. Okay, then we recover the last night session. Tonight, we will discuss about civil law and we will start to talk about IP law, that is called intellectual property law, but always in all the systems, everybody knows it as IP law, okay? So let's get started right now. As always, let me see if you can check my screen because always something happens. Here, can you see the movement? Objection and that engagement letter, it's moving or no? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, objection, engagement letter, file and injunction. Yes? Okay. Okay, so the last time we were discussing about some terms that we can use in the courtroom when we need to support something, when we need to get involved in an argument, like you can appeal, you can accept, you can amend. But now we will start to talk about the objections. What is the objections? When you communicate in front of the judge or to the other party that do not agree with the questions, with the agreement, with what the other party says, with a fact, un hecho, you cannot agree. And you can object the question, the phrase, you can object it, okay? Hi, good night. No worries, we just started. We are discussing about what happens if you are not agree with something in the courtroom. You will use an objection, okay? And the judge will take the decision. You will sustain the argument, and if works, the judge will say proceed. So we'll say sustain. But if it's not possible, they will say overrule or denied. Se deniega la objeción. Okay? I know that Varela is outside, so turn off your camera because it's quite dangerous. And when you can arrive home and be secure, you connect. No worry. Engagement letter. Engagement, you get engaged cuando alguien te propone matrimonio, tú tienes un compromiso, ¿no? Se dice así, engage o engagement. Pero en materia de derecho, engagement letter means the contract that you create with your client where you discuss all the terms and conditions for the business, right? How you will represent it, how will be taxes defeat, how will be paid across which kind of account, or maybe will pay to you at the beginning or in the middle of the process, or half and a half. Whatever situation of monetary issues will be always involved in the engagement letter. This literally means poder, carta, acuerdo, compromiso, carta de compromiso, acuerdo de honorarios, honorarios, tarifario, todo lo relacionado con el billete, amigas mías, es engagement letter. Así tenemos que pensar. Obviamente tener noviecito es muy chévere y muchas cosas. Pero la plata, niñas, la plata. ¿Ok? When you have the client, the first of all, you will sign 2 documents. First one, client's care contract. You will let know your client that you will represent as much or with all your possibilities, and also how will be the rules about respect, about mutual respect. For example, you cannot text me or call me between 8 to 5. Hello, good night. No worries, we just start. We were discussing before you arrived the objections, that is the way that you communicate that you agreed or no with something. The decision about the objection is called sustain, that means that proceed, or overrule or deny it, that means que se deniega. ¿Sí? Se deniega, se descarta. Now we were discussing about the engagement letters, that basically means the agreement that you make with your client, but when we are talking about money, okay? Todo lo que es honorarios, todo lo que es billete is engagement letter. And when you connect, I was telling to your colleagues that when we are creating a new business and we are creating an agreement with a client, we will make that they sign 2 contracts. First one, the engagement letter. You need to analyze how will be paid your fees to tarifa, how will be paid. And also, you will make that they sign a client's care contract. You will inform them all the conditions about, we were discussing that topic in a speaking call, and we said that, for example, if they make a call for us and we spend 5 minutes time, the right stuff will be that we charge that time because it's our time, it's our work. And when we give an advice, it's our knowledge. In Latin America, it's not common. My clients call me all the time because I represent the process. And if I have 100 victims, they can call me whenever that they want. And I need to answer and inform them, right? So depends of the lawyer how you will find the strategies for make it not so difficult. Valeria, yes, no worries. Continue like that. I don't want that someone stole your phone. Okay. File an injunction. When I want to make that somebody comes to the court, we will file an injunction. That means that you can make that someone comes to court to analyze that maybe someone is dangerous for your privacy, for your freedoms, for your life, and the court take the decision to put or to use a restraining order, ¿ok? Que es una orden de restricción. Cuando nosotros hablamos de presentar una orden judicial, generalmente se utiliza para procedimientos que envuelven de una u otra manera cualquier derecho fundamental, ¿ok? We need to present or file an injunction when we are in a process, when we're in a case, when someone's like the judicial policy needs to take some specific activities in my residence, so they need to come to, I need to open my intimacy to them just for having a result. They cannot do it if they don't have a judicial order. That order is called injunction, okay? An injunction is a court order, sometimes called as a restraining order, that directs a person not to have any contact with you. It is one legal means of helping to protect a person from threats or acts of violence by another person. Entonces, orden de restricción y file an injunction. When we use file an injunction is also, for example, when you have your company and the government has the idea that you are, for example, don't paying all the taxes. So if you need to open all your accountants, si necesitas abrir tu contabilidad to one judicial officer or to the police, they need to present an injunction. That means that a court is asking for that information. They cannot do it just because they have the power. Okay, remember that. File an injunction or injunction, getting involved a lot of basic or the most important rights, the fundamental rights. Freedom, intimacy, okay? Life. Because if we are talking about restraining order, it's because someone is trying to hurt you or to don't respect you in a way, in a sexual way, with violence, with, I don't know, psychological aggressions. Okay, that's clear? We can also call it as a caution. In Colombia, we use cautions for civil law, just for money. If I need to start a process and I don't know how will be the result, I will pay a caution for pay the movements on law, like all the work, the judges, and to make that the system works. When we talk about this, is not like, no es una medida. En mi país, las cauciones tienen varios contextos, pero en el civil se paga como para garantizar el pago de una obligación o que un proceso puede iniciar y que la justicia no va a perder su tiempo, como para hacerme explicar. Like when we are talking about some specific orders, when you are involving a right that need to be suspended, we are talking about a restraining order, okay? ¿Cierto? Cualquier tipo de restricción. Entonces, the restraining order is to be imposed for a specific period of time. However, not longer than 1 year, but it can be extended by a new decision. This is in US. For us in Colombia, depends of the violence. If we are talking about psychological violence, maybe years. If we are talking about physical ones, maybe more. Okay? Some questions? I believe that Andrea would ask something.
No, sorry. Just I am trying to connect the class on my computer, but I don't know why. I can open, so I am trying. Now I am on my cell phone. Mm-hmm. So that, okay. That is the reason why I am moving.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. No worries. We will use some general terms for civil law. The most important one, bankruptcy. Bankruptcy. You know what it means? No? Bancarrota. ¿Ok? Literalmente significa bancarrota. Cuando nosotros estamos hablando en civil, cambia y se maquilla un poquito el término y va a ser algo así como proceso de insolvencia. Se utiliza, it's so used when the companies cannot fulfill their obligations because the income is not enough or the profit. We saw that already. Ay, profit. How can I text here? I don't know how. Ok, profit. No voy a intentar encontrar el chat porque me quedo grande. No pude entrar al chat. Me siento como una viejita. Sorry, I am trying. You know what? I will use the chat. Here, profit, la ganancia. Si no me voy a volver loca, no puedo salirme de la conversación. So, this kind of process, we will use it when the profit is not enough and I cannot cover my obligation. But when we are talking about someone, for example, about me, we will use bankruptcy. You know, it's the slang, it's the way that the people call it. But it's a legal process through which people or other entities who cannot repay debts or creditors may seek relief from some or all their debts. In most jurisdictions, bankruptcy is imposed by a court order, often initiated by the debtor. Here in Colombia, for example, if we need to declare that a company has bankruptcy, first of all, we need to talk about the main obligations, that is the base, that is the labor payment. Lo primero que se tiene que pagar cuando se quiere insolventar una empresa son los salarios. Si después de pagar los salarios se acabó la plata, ya no hay más responsabilidad. Si nos queda un poquito, comienzan a pagarse las deudas en el orden en el que fueron adquiridas. Pero lo primero que se tiene que pagar son los derechos laborales. I don't know how this works in Bolivia. You can let me know. Give me a second. Here it's so cold. And I am looking for my socks because I cannot continue like this. Wait. Now, so when we need to declare the bankruptcy, we need to pay first labor. How is in Bolivia? Do you know how it works? No? I need that you try to find, not for me, not for the class, but try to find how or no, which is the first obligation that needs to be paid for the entity or the business, ¿ok? Cuando yo quiero insolventar un negocio, cuando hay bancarrota en un negocio, ¿qué es lo primero que se tiene que pagar? Me imagino que son los derechos laborales, pero averígüenlo. Now, if we have, for example, if I am the legal representative of a company and I need to have, not have more responsibilities because my profit is not enough, I can also ask for change my status. And status means como tu récord, pero económico, tu estado, y te puedes cambiar como una persona solvente a una persona insolvente. Solvent to insolvent person. Básicamente es declararse en quiebra. ¿Ok? If I have debts for my car, for my house, for my university, for my trips, whatever, I can tell to the bank that it's not possible that I pay with my salary. So I will ask for change my status. ¿Ok? Entonces, la quiebra es un proceso legal a través del cual las personas u otras entidades que no pueden pagar sus deudas a los acreedores pueden buscar un alivio, relief, para algunas o todas sus deudas. En la mayoría de las jurisdicciones, la quiebra se impone mediante una orden judicial, a menudo iniciada por el deudor. ¿Ok? Esto es la traducción de esto. ¿Listo? Creo que la única palabra así rara es como relief. Creo que no más. ¿Tienen alguna otra dudita? Díganme de una vez, ¿están en confianza? Bankruptcy is a little bit hard to pronounce. Bankruptcy, crap. Esa crap suena como mierda. Como holy crap, bankruptcy. Okay, has the same pronunciation. It's not typed the same way, but now you won't forget it. Now, bankrupt is not the only legal status that an insolvent person may have. And the term bankruptcy is therefore not a synonym for insolvency. Okay? We can be an insolvent person, but we cannot have bankruptcy. La insolvencia está más dirigida cuando mi ingreso es menor a mis deudas. Soy una persona insolvente, no tengo solvencia. O sea, me cuesta llegar a fin de mes, por ejemplo. Pero la bancarrota es cuando ya no tengo entradas, no tengo maneras de recuperarme. Una persona insolvente se puede recuperar. We can talk that like an insolvent person can increase because can create a new business, has like the little hope that can move on from the situation. But the bankrupt is not possible. And in both cases, if we are talking about a company or about a person, we need to declare that situation to the entities or by a judicial order, okay? Debtor, el deudor, and has a debt, okay? Deuda, deudor. For that reason, I use like images, it's easier. However, if we are talking about the general terms in civil law, the next one is, I will try to change this here. Notarized, notarized, certificar por notario, okay? We discussed that affidavit significa una declaración jurada, that a notary seal or stamp es un sello notarial, and a notary public seal indicates on a document that has been notarized. Entonces, el sello, la estampa, la firma del notario en un documento significa que, ¿qué es lo que hace un notario frente a un documento? Autenticar, dar fe, no de lo que dice el documento, dar fe no de que es real o que es irreal. Ellos dan fe de que Pepito es Pepito, ellos dan fe de que Pepito nació documentalmente, es decir, que tiene su registro civil de nacimiento. Ellos dan fe de que Pepito y su Tanita se quieren casar, no se casaron. They are like the ones that oversees and certificates that you are you, that your sign is your sign, that you were born, that you want to get married, that you die, okay? A notary public seal means that the notary check that everything is on rule, and remember that when we are outside, we need to claim for this function to the council, okay? Deeds. You listened that before? El hecho, la citación, ¿ok? Tiene muchísimos significados. Deeds, a notarial or authorized copy of the company's deed of incorporation and subsequent deeds of capital increase as well. Escrituras, escrituras públicas, certificados, autenticaciones, documentos autenticados, documentos con firma de notario público, todo lo que está relacionado con un documento que tenga una estampa de un notario, everything that we can analyze that has the stamp of the notary, we can refer it as deeds, okay? Execution of a notarized public incorporation deed. Otorgamiento de una escritura notarial. Te puede ser de constitución, de reserva, de análisis, ¿ok? Execution of a notarized public incorporation deed. That is the title. Okay. Until here, we finish the civil law. Now we will start moving forward to other areas. Before we start, I want to tell you, I want to communicate in the middle, that I have been like, so it's not a surprise because in Colombia always happens some kind of these things, but now it's like different because we are having other kind of rights just because of the COVID. For example, 1 million people can be connected in a courtroom because now it's online. And we had a case, I don't know if you check, here is like all the media in Colombia is talking about this. If you maybe has Colombian friends, you will figure out that everybody's talking about, and we always like a couple of years, like every 5 or every 6 years, we have the top case that show us how vulnerable and violence is or violent is our society. So I will share with you that I am listening the I don't know how to say it, the courtrooms and what is happening and all the audiences in a criminal process that was so mediatic because listen, this history sounds like so unreal, but happens in my country all the time. This guy was one of the most important make I don't know how to say it, makeup artist, como artistas del maquillaje, no sé cómo decir, como cuál sería la profesión, but in a professional way, right? And was one of the top ones, and he created makeups for all the models and for all the I don't know, journalists, like all the media was always involved with him, and basically he started to become so famous and quite rich. Okay. And he had a really nice relationship with her mom. They were like, so close, etc. And he had a brother that always was like so jealous and tried to become with the same profession, but always so jealous. And basically, this brother has like problems with his wife and gets separate, so comes to live with this artist that is called Mauricio into the same house, and during 4 months plan how will kill them, like how will kill his mom and his brother, and make it and show it as suicidal stuff, right? And he do it. He killed them with a knife. Like Manuel, this Mauricio takes pills for sleep, for deal with depression and maybe some stuff like that. So make it relax and sleep well. And during was sleeping, this crazy guy comes to kill them, to his mom and to his brother. So basically, was news daily because the prosecutor comes to like the whole investigation team, and they create analysis and etc. And yesterday night and today, the case was solved because for all the proofs, basically, that we have a post-mortem process. When you die, your body starts to die, but so fast. And a professional can check more or less how much time will be your body, or you died, basically, for how much time your body comes to this no sé cómo se dirá, descomposición, no sé si se dice así, debe tener un nombre más técnico, vamos a averiguarlo. Decomposition. Se escribe así. Decomposition. Se escribe igual, casi sin la S y con T. So the thing was like, they solved it because this guy was the only one at home, and he sent text to their, to their chauffeur, to their workers, that he feels bad and blah blah blah, to the 6 a.m. when they were, passed away, they were died. I told you always, I don't want to sound rude. Colombia is a country where you can see a lot of nature. But I was discussing today with a friend, with my Bolivian friend, and I was telling, like, today, if you turn on your TV, you will see like murder, 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 promise with money, murder, murder, murder. And all the time it's like a lot of violence. So if you want, I can send you a resume, like 5 minutes, and you can see how terrible is our society. In the same way that I am sharing this kind of information, not because I feel proud of it, no. I wish that you can share, for example, with me, what is the most important case that is happening right now in Bolivia. And I want that we discuss that in our tomorrow's session, okay? What is happening in the process? This takes so much, like all the process and all the audience takes more than 16 hours, where like continuously, where this prosecutor shows to this guy what are the proofs that are contained and try to make a deal. At the end, he accepts that they murdered, but a psycho, he accepted, it was like, yes, that will happen again, blah blah blah, and was like was famous. This guy was so famous, and today I was like checking some articles about this brother always be jealous, always, and how maybe your a little spiritual belongs can take some people to do huge mistakes in their lives. Okay, I will send right now because I was talking about this with a friend. I wanted to check it. It's just like 5 minutes, and then you will understand what I'm talking about. And I want that you find yours and you will share it with me. Sorry, tomorrow. And you know what is crazy? That in all the interventions and all the interviews, he comes and he answers like, yes, I feel so sorry for my brother. Like it's oh, mm, you know, it's not someone that you can trust at any ways. How the people should feel. It's so crazy. And exist a lot of proofs. And I know that you are not so interested in criminal law, but if you have time and you want to check right now, like this case, how be so mediatic, a lot of proofs or have been discussed online and public. So you can have access to the arguments. You can have, I know that is different on legal system, but now you can check how works my legal system from real. And this have been like all the news, get it on it and share it complete. I'm not telling you that you connect 5 hours, but if you want to check 1 or 2 videos to understand my whole history of tonight, and also that you find yours for tomorrow night, okay? So we will stop, we will make a parenthesis. We will talk about criminal law, but just for tomorrow. Now we will borrow this parenthesis, or we will put it blurry, and we will continue with intellectual property law, okay? Intellectual property law was the base that we discussed with patents. Patents belongs to intellectual property law, but it's not all intellectual property. Now we will start to check the differences and how we can apply it in real life, basically. How maybe if you are interested in this area, how you can make money, like what is the difference between some ideas, what is intellectual property law. So now, I am sharing right now. Can you see my screen? Oh, no, sorry. Now, can you see my screen? Intellectual property law? Yes? Okay, if I move it, it's important to realize, yes? Okay, got it. Perfect. So as I told you, IP law means intellectual property law. When you listen into a speech, into a scenario, into the judge, or maybe a colleague that someone is calling about IP law, you will know that it's intellectual property. It's important to realize that IP law is an area of law where you have different rights converging by different legal instruments or proceedings. Okay, this topic is one of the complex ones. But also they are interrelated in one way or another. For that reason, it's quite difficult when we were discussing yesterday about the patents. And we have a specific way to make difference that we will check it tonight. When you are dealing with clients, you need to know this. This was an advice that one of my best friends, but like in law, like colleagues, almost my boss, were my boss for a while, but then we become closer friends. And he teach me that, and I'm teaching that tonight. The client always want results. Even when they didn't have any idea about the process, always wants results. They don't care how, but you need to make it happen. And this is the base of intellectual property law. They don't care what is the proceeding, but they need to have results. They don't care what the hell you have to do for win a patent, but they want the patent. Okay, this one is, I guess that this area of law is the one that needs results, and is the one when the business is created making a promise of a result. In other areas of law, it's not possible. You will say, yes, I will check the process, I will do my best, blah, blah, blah. But here, you promise, and your obligation is try to have the result, okay? Because if you doesn't win the patent or the brand, imagine that the lawyer of McDonald's wake up early the day that need to register the patent. Oh, sorry, wake up late. Can you imagine how much damage can mean for a company a problem with the branding? So they don't care how, but you need to do it. You need results for them. I want that you learn this on my case, in my class. I want that you keep it in your mind. You need to find the results for them. I'm not telling you that do something illegal, of course not. I am telling you that you need to be creative to solve an issue. Maybe you can do it by another way. For example, the most of my cases, I don't know if I told you that apart to be a human rights defender with a non-governmental organization, I have my own legal firm. I told you that? Okay. I have my own legal firm or law firm. If you want to someday, I don't know, publish some article in Spanish or in English. I had a student one time from Ecuador, and she was just brilliant because you know that at the end of this workshop, you will make a whole essay for me. Van a hacer un ensayo en inglés. And this girl was so brilliant. And I told them, like, I'm having the whole platform because we have our website and we have our blog, and I just cried one time because I am not having enough time for do that. But a couple of years ago, I write about some topics, and my colleagues also. So if you want to find a platform where you can share, it's always open. And there we work with other lawyers, of course. We make deals. We have associations, and if one process comes from an administrative sector, we just connect the client with the lawyer and we win the commission, but we doesn't take it because we have other works. And I'm telling you, I don't know if I am. Yes, I will share with you right now, not here because then it happens and get in YouTube, but I will share it with your for our group. I will share the blog And then you will check what kind of topics we manage, but basically it's completely free. If you want to talk about law, about human rights, about women's rights, about agricultural law, labor, about pregnancy, legalization, whatever, you can do it, okay? So that this is an offer and helps you and help us to communicate ideas. This is what we really, really want. Right now, I'm in a process to have a detox. Estoy como desintoxicándome de redes sociales. I doesn't use Facebook, or I'm just using WhatsApp because I work with WhatsApp, but I'm getting disconnected from Instagram, Facebook. I closed Twitter. I just put out of my social media because I figured out how the hell I was wasting my life there. Wasn't easy because I, like, every time that I has like a couple of free time, I was checking, and it's like at the beginning, like the 4 first days, I was literally like, if I put my drugs out, it was like, but then I deleted, and with time make it easier. It's like now, in 1st of February, I will reopen it. So I will send you like the social media of the company if you want to follow us, or if maybe at some point you need our services, or maybe I don't know, maybe you are interested in some migration process. We are working a lot with migration offices for Australia and Canada, and we can make it. I use this. This is like my hobby. It's different. Learn this from your life. One thing is build the dreams of other people, and the opposite of that is yours. It's not the same that I work 10 hours per day for somebody else, that I work 2 hours per day in my own business. It's so different. And you need to do a lot of stuff. But are your dreams and gives you independency. When I was traveling, my company sustained my dreams. And you need to try to find that. You are so young and you will make it happen. But I learned this with my own company. You need to find them results. I am a conciliator, as I told you, and 90% of my cases, I solve it with conciliation. I don't like to litigation in other areas that don't be mine. I don't like civil, I don't like I don't like any of them, but I like the conciliations. So I just connected, I explained to them what are the consequences or don't solve the problem, and they reflect, we solve it, we sign. It's like a fucking ATM. You get the knowledge, you make it that they do agreement, you have the money. Simple, fast, quick, easier, okay? It's the way that I found to make results. You need to find yours, okay? Okay, we will start. The first topic that we need to talk is trademarks law. Este es el tema más grande de IP law, que son las marcas comerciales, las marcas. Aquí vamos a comenzar con temitas. Yo les traigo incluso imágenes para que no sea tan mamón. Trademarks law son las marcas comerciales. With trademarks, you are dealing with. Cuando estamos hablando de marcas comerciales, tú tienes en consideración, tú estás analizando lo siguiente. Brands, marcas. Image, goodwill, origin. I will tell you that before. Sorry, after. Brands, marcas. And with brands, we have something that is called branding. That is like the gerund, como el gerundio. Brand es marca, branding en español sería algo así como marcando, endo. Pero, ¿qué significa el branding? Todo lo que ustedes ven alrededor de la construcción de una marca, de un producto, de un servicio, es el branding. Una empresa bien famosa en Bolivia, déjame pensar. No sé, díganmelo ustedes, una marca bien famosa. Ustedes no tienen McDonald's.
Burger King.
Burger, perfecto. Rápido, si yo digo Burger King, ¿qué es lo primero que ustedes piensan?
Hamburger.
Sí, pero ¿qué piensan? ¿Qué piensan? ¿Son buenas, son ricas, son caras, son chiquitas? Lo que sea.
Okay, and it's tasty, but it is expensive. It's not like
Ok,
McDonald's is more expensive.
listo. Goodwill, eso que ustedes me acaban de decir, es goodwill. Lo bueno, es delicioso, pero es caro. Es delicioso, es el buen nombre. El goodwill es una parte de trademarks que envuelve todo el buen concepto que puede ser indemnizable económicamente y aplica para abogados. Yo les digo, Sarela, uy, sí, la vieja es una berraca, es una dura, ya, uy, esa vieja litiga, pum, goodwill, ¿cierto? Como si yo digo, Pepito, no, ese Pepito es un vago, no le vaya a dejar ese negocio a ese man porque lo caga, lo roba. Ese es el goodwill de los abogados, esa es nuestra marca personal, ¿ok? If I, as a company, or I, as a lawyer, I want to invest effort, money, knowledge, I need someone that do the marketing for me. And that is called branding. Is someone or a company that comes to work in all the publicity of your company or for your service. And the goodwill can be organic and can be paid. Organic is for example, if nobody puts a lot of publicity on you. For example, ¿qué es lo que se come en Bolivia? No me acuerdo. Sonsos. La señora de los sonsos no paga publicidad en redes sociales. La señora de los sonsos no paga publicidad en Google. Pero tú sabes que la señora de los sonsos, los mejores sonsos, y sabes quién es, ¿cierto? Eso es un crecimiento orgánico. Si yo no tengo crecimiento orgánico, yo necesito pagar. And then you will pay for applications, websites, for make that your company comes into the first on the top 10 of your legal firms in your city. So to make this with Google Ads, I will put it in your WhatsApp. Google Ads. Eso es la publicidad pagada de Google. We have Facebook ads, Instagram ads, whatever that calls your attention. And if you saw the huge brands like in clothes or whatever, they are putting a lot of information by news for TV, on the streets, on the walls, and you are always creating the need. You believe that you need it because that is the business, okay? When we are talking in business law, for example, I am renting a place like the first floor of my house because it's so commercial. And Sarela comes and tell me, hey, Gali, I will sell bags in the first floor. Rent me the house. And I will say, yes, of course, do it. Pay me whatever for a month and whatever. And one day to another, I say, you know what, Sarela? I need the place. Bye. Todo el tiempo que le costó a Sarela posicionar su marca can be paid. Why? Because to Sarela takes months to make that the people around or the neighborhood discover or taste the product and check that all the bags has a really good quality. And if that happens, can be object of paid damages. ¿Listo? Este tema es muy importante. Párenle muchas bolas porque lo vamos a conectar más adelante. Párenle bolas es una expresión colombiana. Significa pay attention. Párenle bolas. Trademarks. Origin. Basically, what they are trying to sell. I am trying to sell my juice. I need to find a way to make it a need. Okay? I can use the marketing. I can use some experts that will tell you about the benefits of some fruits. I can use like a comparative plan with some Cokes or with some sodas and make difference between the sugar, whatever. That is trademarks. You saw that. You know what we are talking. You have your concept in your mind. I'm not using a name. I'm not using anything. But you know that what we are talking. Really? Marca registrada. Siempre en la parte de abajo, acá no se alcanza a ver porque la imagen es bien mala, pero ahí abajo al pie de la L hay una R. ¿Se han visto que algunas cosas tienen una R chiquitita? Marca registrada. ¿Ok? We have something more that is called packaging. Packaging. Amazon involves everything that you buy with them in a way that belongs to the trademark. ¿Ok? La manera en la que ellos empacan depende de las marcas. También constituye una marca. Constituye una marca el nombre, el logo, el buen nombre, el empaque, el color, la letra, mejor dicho. ¿Listo? All the designs belongs to the trademark. How is the appearance? For example, Apple and Samsung disputes about the looking of the recent tablets and the iPad. They had a legal dispute. Of course, that these kind of cases won't be taken by some lawyers that are learning how to do it. They have the experts, they have the best one because they need to win these cases. And there's millions of dollars involved in this kind of area. This, if you want to make money, I can compare myself with the people that comes to professional with me, you know, at the same time, but they start to take influence for private law. Basically, they are rich. They win easily 10 times what I win. They travel. It's different, you know, but it's something that don't makes me happy. Some people makes happy. I am not telling you, yes, money don't make me happy. Of course, money makes me happy. But I am working more or less 12 hours per day. And I cannot invest all the time in doing something that I am not in love with. Okay? And what I'm doing made me feel so in love, even when I have a lot of work and sometimes I get tired, worth it, lo vale. And happens, some of my colleagues find that love for this area and they are rich. It's part from make what they do with passion and love. Okay. Now we have the copyright. I'm so sure that you check that maybe in some reference, in some books, maybe in some videos. And this belongs to intellectual property law. Derechos de autor. You didn't copyright in everything or anything. Tú no haces derechos de autor para todo. Just for selected issues and depends of each country. We discussed a little bit of this yesterday night. We will check this. Remember, keep that in your mind. I want that you copy the title and then you put copyrights. We are talking about copyrights just when it comes for the creation and creativity of the author. Can use creative or industry, music, books, or any products that comes for human production. A melody, a lyrics, a video, an act. ¿Listo? Literature, recordings, all the literary work, software, programs, apps. Okay, all of this is copyright. Okay, games, video games, coding. I don't know if you check how works this engineering, like this software engineering. Then, if you wanted to say this, right now, I guess that is one of the most important careers because everything is online. But if you saw maybe at some movie one time, you will check that for your computer works, the website works, Facebook works, whatever, is someone that at some point create a lot of hundreds and millions of codes that are numbers, you know, like 1, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. For that code, your screen get a little dot green. For 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, blah, 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 you will find the size in this way. That is called coding. Las codificaciones y el lenguaje de programación. Coding. Todos esos códigos. Yo no sé si ustedes se vieron la película de Facebook. ¿No? Okay, check it. And it's really interesting and talks so much about coding and about how works at some point of the creation. In Harvard, the most brilliant minds works on coding. Basically, they are the base of it, and that is copyright. And semiconductor chips that are the processor on computers, you know, Intel 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, the specificate status of the brain of the computer, they are working with semiconductor chips, and that has copyright. Okay? Patents. Keep that in your mind. New. If something is not new, I cannot patent it, but need 2 conditions. First, just for inventions, and second, needs an industrial application. What we were talking that, why I cannot find food on the patents side, because it's a product that cannot have industrial application. I can, for example, register a machine or engine that create donuts, but I cannot register the donut. Yo no puedo registrar la dona. Yo puedo registrar una máquina que hace donas, ¿sí? Porque tiene una aplicación industrial. Porque si yo vendo la patente, en China pueden hacer la misma máquina. ¿Listo? Para la comida, para las bebidas, para otro tipo de productos de belleza, hay otro tipo de herramientas. Pero acuérdense esto, grábense esto, las patentes, que sea nuevo, que tenga aplicación industrial y solamente para invenciones. La primera vez. ¿Listo? Examples of patents. We have technology industry and pharmaceutical industry. So, tomorrow night, we will discuss one of the most popular cases that you had in Bolivia at this time, or maybe that you remember a couple of years ago. I am sharing this because if you are interested in this area, like in criminal law, will give you a lot of idea because, you know, it's like not FBI about something that belongs to imagination. This is real. This is happening. This happened a couple of months in my country. And basically, now, because it's so famous, you can find a lot of information online. So try to find a topic that results interesting for you. With that information, we finish our class. I will please ask you that you fulfill the survey that right now is turned on. And what more? I will continue with Sarela. So one time that you are done, you can go rest, and I will see you tomorrow. Perfect. Se pueden desconectar. Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Vemos, adiós, descansen.
Thank you.
Sarela, hi, good night. Okay, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. I want that you tell me about the pattern that you choose. We will talk about that tonight. So whenever you feel ready.
I didn't understand too much about patterns. I will study more, but I was with three-dimensional printer.
Yeah.
That pattern.
Yeah.
It was like $13.
Yeah.
For two 213 events,
Okay.
and is the status is active now. But I didn't understand too much. I think I have the PDF.
Okay.
Yes, it's here.
You will share it with me and you will make the questions. If I can solve it, that is
Okay.
fine.
Mm, here. The patent application, the three-dimensional printer, and I don't know. I have many questions. Like this is here. It says United States, and my question is this is only for the United States or no? Because maybe if we use it here, we have to pay the patent.
Mhm.
Okay, I had that question.
Yes. Basically, this register at the most of the time is managed for United States because they are like the top in this area. So they have like some databases that are huge and you just paid for getting involved. In Bolivia, in Latin America, this is not a strong topic. The people, it's quite hard that get involved. But some of the people are the inventors, so they register. And as you saw, for example, exist other countries that develop the idea. For example, in this case, is Copenhagen in Denmark. 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 And so this here, as you saw a little bit down, related US application data, you will find how it's registered in US. Then we have foreign application priority data, is where be applied, in which country, under what circumstance, okay? Then we have the publications and how be published this information. We have the abstract that at the most of the time is a little resume about what is the product. And the drawings always are so basic. Always. It's like if you try to Google it, like tablet, Samsung tablet, and you will find that it's like a square. It's like, but depends of the inventor. If they want to be more specific about the materials, about how is the design, they can do it. But at the most of the times, it's really basic one. Okay, so
yes, I searched many things.
yeah.
I was searching something about related about law, but I didn't find something, I don't know, interesting. You said last class about that movie when I think you were talking about the Java jacket, the coffee, the I don't know how to say it, el cartón del café
Yes.
para que no caliente. And I think that movie is made of honor.
Uh-huh. Yes.
I love that movie. I totally get it when you said it, but I couldn't talk about it. I love that movie, and I was trying to search something like that here in Google Patents. I didn't find that Java jacket. But I found something like the milk carton and other products that are patented. Eh, I find that very interesting because I was searching some things and I didn't find it. For example, I thought that I don't know how to say it, but some, for example, the chairs, las patas de las sillas, se les pone como que un zapatito para que no raspen el piso, esas cosas.
A cover for a cover?
Yes, cover
for
for
chair sticks.
flares,
Chairs, sticks.
chairs. Okay.
Chair de silla y sticks de
Stick
palito.
palito. Yes, I was searching something like that, but I didn't find anything about it. The Java jacket, it's so interesting because every coffee, I don't know how to say it, cafeteria,
Bakery.
bakery use it. And I don't know, it's like in the movie he said like, I think 11 cents. But everybody use that as I think he is rich.
Yeah, is it? But of course, the movie has this dynamic. I just wanted that you keep it in your mind. But the reality doesn't work like that. Works anytime that you want to produce like millions, whatever, and you pay the idea, but in a different register. You won't find it here because, as I told you a couple of minutes ago, remember, a patent, that is a product, and you cannot patent it even if you cannot do it industrial application. It's really hard. You can register by other kind of agencies where they oversees that they are respecting the right, and maybe they can do that, they pay. But in the country, if you wanted to produce millions of carton for, I don't know, for make boxes for your shoes that are you selling, you don't need to pay. Because in Latin America, sadly, we are really, really far away to develop this kind of area, okay? But also, for example, if you create a branding that is so similar that a huge one, maybe one of these huge countries can lawsuit you, but you know, the most of the people doesn't have anything and just sell the copies, and it's Latin America. So this is just for a study in the theoretical way. And if you wanted to grow up in one of these scenarios, you of course needs to go there because that is the reality. In my country, as an example, in in Colombia, we patent some lyrics and melodies, and we have one specific agency for do that, and they protect like the singers and etc. But just that. But also, I have to say that this is not my area, so maybe exists, and I don't have any idea because I don't care. But try to find that in your country, like maybe what kind of things you can do, maybe some agency of the government overseas, maybe not. And if you like it, you can find a way.
Yes, it's very interesting because I didn't heard about patents before, never in my life. The last
Even
class.
in your university, you didn't study that?
No.
Okay. This belongs
No.
to a private law.
Yes, I will search more
But so
information.
far, I saw it maybe 3 classes. That's it.
Yes, I will search on YouTube because, well, now I know in the United States, but I want to know about Latin America. Maybe I can find something interesting about patents.
Yes, that is a really nice way to learn. When you want to find it by yourself, becomes quite different because the information never, you know, go out from your mind, basically. One time that you apply it or you're looking for information that is just for you, you will find it.
Mm.
Okay.
And I had a question about this page. Of course, for example, in Google, you can put wherever you want the information you want. You can put it on Google, but I think here it's not like that now in Google Patents.
Remember that in Google, the normal Google, you can pay for advertisement, you can pay for ads, you can pay for publicity, means the same. And you can have whatever information because it's completely free. But this Google patents is based on some databases in a specific topic. So if you put, I don't know, jacket, you will find other specific information that is not about to sell you something to a product. No, it's because the source of information is completely different. Okay, but this is something that nobody knows. Nobody knows. I listened that in a conference room with one expert from New Zealand, and it was like, wow. I never, this is not my area. Basically, that is the resume. It's not my area, but I have the information, so I give the information because maybe it's the area of somebody else. Who knows? And this is like you can find some YouTube videos about how this works in Europe. Also, they are so strong, and how they have the UE. They they have some agreements between some countries that helps to increase to do paperwork to migration process and to support some worldwide databases. So you can looking for that online, and you can find some classes. I know that Yale and Harvard, because of the pandemic, they start you put the lessons. I know I saw once from environmental impacts from Yale, and was the environmental impacts, como los impactos ambientales, creo que la Universidad de Yale, y ellos lo transmiten en YouTube como 2 horas, y te juro que esas 2 horas te van a servir más que estar haciendo otra vaina. O sea, like 2 hours there is so much better than 2 hours in Instagram. So a lot of universities has these like free campus or open spaces where you can just take lessons first in English. You are working on your knowledge and pronunciation, and because it's real time. They speak so fast, and sometimes you get lost, but it's the way that you learn. And second, you have information about something that you maybe are not so passionate about because you don't have the information, but maybe you can find your passion. So this is an advice, like try to find some lessons online, some speech. I really like to use tech talks, las charlas de tech, because I grow up in a personal way, in a spiritual way. It's like I am learning more about life, but also I am improving my English. Because when I'm having the lessons, I practice. But when I don't have the lessons, because I work 2 months, I rest 2 months. I work 2 months, I rest 2 months. In that 2 months, I lost a lot of my level. And sometimes because I don't practice with anybody. And then I start to talk again, and I start to making mistakes, a little ones. Maybe you cannot detect it. Maybe you detect it if your level is really good. But maybe some little pronunciation issues, whatever, because I lost my pronunciation. I lost my practice, and try to don't lose your practice.
Yes, it's very hard to remind. I used to know Deutsch, Alemán, when I was younger, like 10 years. I speak Dutch, and after that I left the classes to take English classes, and was the worst idea I ever had because I never speak Dutch again, and I can't remember anything. I never knew Dutch, and it's sad.
Yeah,
So keep practicing. It's the only way you can learn more.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so we are done. I just put the record in our yesterday's that you comes because I arrived too late. Sorry. I like at 9 or something, I had a lot of traffic and was impossible arrive home early.
Oh,
So no worries, nothing happened.
okay. Here in
Now we
Oruro,
close
it
it.
rained. It
Okay.
rained.
No, but no worries, it's fine.
Okay.
I will see you tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow we have our last session of the week. Oh my God, the time is running. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, Gali.
Bye bye. Rest.